But I never know if I'm good enough to meet my maker. I always doubt that. No matter what you do, you said, oh God, I don't know how God's going to weigh this out. So I get afraid when it comes to that kind of thing. But one priest I met, Father told me, he said, I don't know why you're afraid. You're doing everything Jesus liked. I said, what am I doing, Father? Well, you're cooking, and Jesus loved to eat. Being born in 1923, you're coming through depression, so you don't have anything. I learned to fight poverty more than anything else, because when I came up, if you were poor, you were like dirt. You were like nothing and nobody.
I happened to co-write and direct a movie with Ron Clements, my partner. And the name of that movie was The Princess and the Frog, as many of you know, set in New Orleans. The story of a young woman who dreams of opening her own restaurant.
So if you're a person like I am, you're always reaching for something that you don't have, and you don't see any way of getting it. You're always dreaming, always dreaming. My daddy was staunch Catholic. Daddy was, I think, more Catholic than the Pope. You couldn't do anything if you didn't do what the Catholics say do. So we went to Catholic schools.
We came down to New Orleans as we were developing the movie, and we and John Lasseter, our executive producer, had a lovely dinner with Leah Chase, and she regaled us with stories of what it was like as she came up in the world.
You know, my mother gave me 4 rules to live by, and we had a little plaque on the wall. You had to look like a girl. You had to act like a lady. You had to think like a man and walk like a dog. You see, I didn't work like people work today. I was a waitress, but I would go in that kitchen and wash dishes too.
And we were inspired as we heard the story of Leah Chase and how she became a restaurateur after starting out just as a waitress.
I would work the whole thing. I would work and ask the chef all kinds of things, and they would get angry with me, because chefs get angry with you when you're butting in their business.
The thing that draws people to Dookie Chase Restaurant is Leah. Leah and Duke. And it's that dynamic duo.
I only knew Dookie 3 months before we were married. And then first thing you know, here come the children, one behind the other one, children. So about early 40s, 48, 49, I said, Dookie, I can help in the restaurant, I can do this. So he said, you will? I said, yes, I will do that. So I came in here, and it's been my life ever since.
And people ask constantly, when did you and Leah meet? Leah, I don't know if you remember this, but it was on an airplane, American Airlines, about 25 years ago. We were on our way, Cajun and Creole cuisine had just hit, and we were on our way to New York City to Bloomingdale's, remember that? It was that day in New York City that you and I said, we need to put a Cajun and Creole show on together. And you said, well, which one are you gonna be?
But why do we go out to eat? We go to restaurants in New Orleans to feel special. What's important to know is that it's not just all about the food. The food is what she uses as a tool for bringing people together. But when you go to Dookie Chase, you realize you're in a special place.
She and my father brought back this restaurant after Katrina, and many people couldn't even bring back their homes because it certainly was a difficult thing to do. So with the help of the community, and we certainly had help from people here and outside of New Orleans to help us bring back this restaurant. It was the determination of she and my father. They never gave up.
And she was that voice in the darkness when there was such controversy after Hurricane Katrina. She was the voice out there of just saying, you know what, let's not talk about crazy things like the government blowing up our levees to flood out New Orleans and all these conspiracy theories. she was the one saying, we were soaked. Let's figure out how to bounce back. Let's figure out how to be one city. And that message really, I think, sparked what we'll call the new renaissance of New Orleans.
Because she loves everyone to feel at home when they come here. And she feels as though the restaurant has to be a place fitting of whomever it could be, whether it be a person who we meet daily on the streets of New Orleans and a member of the community, or, as she has done, whether it is the President of the United States.
You know, in this restaurant, in some ways, we really changed the course of America when you think about it. Because we had all the civil rights people planning things here. If they were not planning here, they were planning in A.L. Davis's church or somewhere else. But most of it was planned here, and then they would go out and come back. And I say we changed the course of America over a bowl of gumbo.
Miss Leah is as a chef. Her skills in that regard were really a cloak about who she was and what she was. Because you see, as she has said, food was a means, it was not an end. It was the opportunity for her and her family to create a space, to create a place for all of us. And as she has so humbly said that a bowl of gumbo changed the world, what she really meant to communicate in her own way is that that place that was comfortable for people of great courage and conviction to meet did in fact change the world.
Her legacy has been to share her love and good fortune with everybody that she met. So from the richest folks in town to the most powerful politicians in the country to the poor folks right across the street from her restaurant. She's there as a cornerstone, and she gives them all a little piece of her soul. And by doing that, I think she's helped rescue an entire city.
Leah Chase really became sort of the belle of New Orleans. And in fact, here's our heroine now, Tiana, Princess Tiana. You look closely and you'll see Leah Chase standing right here with this little frog.
She'll go down as a true tribute to her race, the human race.
You know, you have to hold people accountable, and you have to hold people, teach them how to do things. So it's going to work out. I am not giving up.